baby!
Bro Church is a highly sophisticated podcast, hosted by highly sophisticated people. If you believe that, I'll tell you another.
Yeah, that's right. We're back. We never left. We're back in this bitch like we never left. Oh shit, let me turn my mic down.
Scared the shit out of me.
Holy shit. I think I just messed up. I just messed up the intro there, but I didn't realize that was going to happen. My bad. Oh, we got to start. Nope. It's over now.
New year.
It's all. Let me. New year, new fuck up.
First fuck up a year
Hey.
here.
Had to get it out of the way.
There we go.
That's the Dave. I'm Felix. We're here. It is January 1, 2025. We are recording episode, I want to say 15. I don't know where we are now.
Somewhere around there.
Where you think?
In a ballpark.
This is horrible, dude. How do I not know?
Look it up.
I am.
We're so organized. This is, a year in, we're so organized.
Yes. Episode 15. We're episode 15, dude.
Wow, that's awesome.
This is what we do.
Yeah,
we just count. We just count and lose count.
That's
fantastic.
All good.
I got my bro church hat on, but it's backwards because I just like the way my headphones sit. I just like this look. But I do have my bro church hat on. I'm wearing a Captain America shirt today. Not for any particular reason. Just every now and then I like to, point out that it is more of a Captain Boricua than America.
Boricua. I know, right?
How you doing, dude?
I'm hanging in there, man. Hanging in there. Had a good New Year's, relaxing, good Christmas. Yeah. Now we're just waiting for the Three Kings to come along, and then that'll wrap up our holidays.
That's right. You and Ronnie do that with the boys.
Extends the holidays a little bit.
Yeah,
just a
that's
mini
cool.
Extra Christmas, which is pretty cool. So,
for those that don't know, explain what Three Kings is.
So,
in the Spanish tradition, Puerto Ricans, we do this. Not all of us.
Yeah,
you're cooler than me.
Yeah, it's a strong tradition in our country, land.
In our land.
Our land. Back to the ancient land. This is where we come from. Yeah, so we celebrate the Three Kings. What it is just imagine giving birth to, the Almighty, and all of a sudden 3 random guys show up to your manger and say, hey, by the way, since you just gave birth, I'm going to give you a present. So we celebrate that. That's what we celebrate.
Yeah.
It's a little bit more deeper than that, a little bit more it's a beautiful story, but
they followed the North Star. They found the baby, the savior that was Jesus Christ. They brought him 3 gifts, which was frankincense and myrrh and gold. Am I right on that? Yeah.
Yeah, you're all right on that. Perfect. Wow,
my wife knows this. My wife knows this more than me. My wife could break shit down as to why they brought those gifts. I don't. I just know the smell of frankincense and I think that's frankincense.
Yeah, they all had, they all rode their camels. So as a tradition, we'll set up food for the camels, just like how they have carrots for the reindeers. We'll set up food for the camels and stuff like that. So,
but do your boys still believe that camels are coming into your house?
We take it. We try to keep the belief alive. So we'll go through, take a giant shit in the yard, and then just dig some stuff up. And
are you taking the shit in the yard?
I try to collect it, pile it up, because camels take big piles of shit. So I'll go to the nearest farm.
I thought you were actively
no, I can't.
saving your feces for a week.
That is a lot of shit, man. I don't think even for a week you can match what a camel can dump. So I think so. We go to a neighbor's farm. Hey, I need a cow patty there.
How do you transport said cow patty?
Box, whatever, man.
Yeah,
whatever.
A box.
Just throw it in a box.
Cardboard's
I'm not
perfect.
gonna carry it, man. I'm civilized.
Let it saturate into the cardboard.
I'm not a
That's fine.
savage. I put it in the box.
You imagine the bottom of the box opening as you're carrying it. You're like, fucking camel!
Start spitting everywhere.
All right, so
But
you
yeah,
guys are
yeah,
still
it's like a big-
continuing your tradition.
Yeah. We got one more holiday to hit up, and then that's it. That pretty much wraps it up.
Yeah, and then the holiday season's over. Then we're rolling into 2025, January. Do you do the resolutions? I don't. I do like a sort of, but not really.
You know what? I don't think I've ever done a resolution as opposed to, because I already know I already fucked this year up. So
What? You're already just claiming it.
I already claiming it. I already fucked it up. So let's
set the bar real low right now.
I just like fucking low. Like there's low and then there's like below that. You have to dig deep. Yeah, I don't do the resolutions because I never understood New Year's resolution. You know, I thought I did, but I realized, why do you wait a whole year to start a new year, new me? Like what's wrong with the old you? You know, like are you that busted that you
Yeah.
do this whole new year, new me, but then every year it's a new year, new you. I can understand setting a goal, like a reachable goal, like, hey, this year I'm going to try to save up, this amount of money, or go
or bettering yourself somehow, like leveling up.
Some people take it like to the extreme, like, completely new year, new me, but then 2 weeks into it, completely nope, same old motherfucker. So there goes.
It's like a fad. It's like a fad. Like it's like a trend where people are like, this is what I need to say. I need to do this. I need to hashtag new year, new me. But nobody really notices anything different really about you.
Yeah, it's just
you're still the same person, either good or bad.
Yeah, you should strive to do, if you're going to do a new you, how about just not even a new you, just an improved you? It's not new, it's just a little bit improved. It's the same car, new wheels.
Yeah. Yeah, don't disown who you were unless you were
exactly.
A complete
Who you
shitbag.
were is what people like. Why are you completely changing it around,
Who are you?
Yeah, unless you're a fucking asshole, then you might want to achieve to do better, but it is what it is. You got friends, right? So one way or the other, you are liked by somebody.
Yeah, somebody likes you enough to fuck with you. So just hang around like-minded people. Yeah, I don't do resolutions. I do kind of like a reassess myself.
Yes.
See where I am.
I think that's probably the best way to look at it. It's more of a reassessment on like how we do it at work. We do it everywhere else. We just sit there and say, how did we do? Well, you did all right. Feedback got back. You got like a 3-star. So maybe this year you go for a 4-star. Get rated. Send the feedback form to the wife. She returns with some suggestions.
Yeah, I think that what we really should initiate is like how like companies will do customer reviews or jobs will do like employee reviews. We really should just like in December just hand out these review cards. Like, can you review me? How did I do this year? And then like it can be anonymous. That way people can be honest with themselves.
Yeah.
Just be like,
oh my God, dude.
Just tell me. Tell me without telling you.
I would love to read that. A lot of, I don't know what the hell you are, but you might want to change a few things.
Yeah. And then you read them and then you're like, wait a minute. I wasn't expecting that. That's fucked up. What? Like, they don't like my daily motivational speeches? They don't like my words of encouragement? I'm just trying to tell them they can do better.
Yeah. And then you're sitting there in the dark with these pages all around in the room. Like you're trying to solve a crime.
It's like pinned up. Let's say you got like random suspect of people. Like, I think Ted's the one that said this. And you have like red yarn that's paper clipped to Ted, and it's dragged across to the saying or the quote or the review.
Yeah, you got like pictures of their profiles or sitting up with comments that they made that may be tied into how their handwriting is. Like, I got you now, motherfucker.
That's like a Seinfeld episode. Yeah. It's just so like sitting in the diner across from them, like watching them, and they're like, "Oh, hey, Felix, I didn't know you were sitting." I'm like, "Yeah, hi, Ted. How you doing?
Remember that fucking review?
Yeah. So I got the reviews the other day. Funny thing
that
somebody said this. I don't know what you're talking about.
It really sounded like something you would say, Ted. Oh, shit.
Only you know that I was critiquing gingerbread houses to myself because you're the only person I told that to, Ted. That was supposed to be between us, Dick.
Yeah, I don't know if the reviews will go well, but I think, that should be a good start to something, to a good year. So that'll start the year off interesting. We can do that. So
yeah, I think from now on, I think people should, and feel free to send us our review. People have no problem obviously sending their reviews on us right now as it is. So
so we're gonna get it one way or the other.
Just send us their Bro Church review. Actually, I think maybe I'll think about how to create that, Dave, and we'll have a Bro Church review. We'll just send it out to people. What do you think about us? And then we can read the reviews whenever we get enough of them back. Later
oh my God, that'd be hilarious.
And we can just completely shit on them.
Yeah. Look here, you son of a bitch.
This guy says he's runs a successful podcast for 7 years. I don't give a shit. Fuck you.
Fuck you. I think doesn't the Daily Show do something like that where the stars actually review their own comments?
Yeah, their tweets about
their
them.
tweet. That's what it was. That shit's fucking hilarious.
Yeah,
I wouldn't mind doing something like that. That'd be fucking hilarious.
Yeah, I think we should encourage people to please feel free to respond, jump on the socials, respond to our content. Let us know what you think about Bro Church. We don't really give a shit. We're just curious.
I want to know actually what people think about this whole New Year, New Me thing. Like what is the actual thought on it? Because I see the memes, I've seen the posts, I've seen the said I'm going to completely change comments, but then I have seen some good comments where people actually set goals for themselves, which is fantastic.
And they kill it.
Yeah, and they do. Like they'll say, like I said earlier, they'll say, this year I'm going to try to save up as much as I can, or this year I'm going to hit a new physical, peak, and it's a goal rather than a complete makeover of who you are. So I think that's a healthier way of looking into this whole New Year's resolution. But I actually want to know what people think about it. Do people actually change completely who they are for the year, or is it just a saying? I'm wondering how far that goes.
Yeah, are they willing to change their circle? Because sometimes if you're going to make a new you got to surround yourself with a new environment.
You got a point.
You got to do things differently in your life if you're unhappy with who you are enough to be like, new year, new me. I really am just all about like, how can I learn more and level up? I'm still me.
Yeah.
And I want to be able to grow where I could say, yeah, I used to think like that, but I don't anymore. And this is where I am. Yeah, that's how I look at it anyway.
I think I agree. I think that's a good way to do it. So I don't know. I'm just ready for 2025 to see what kind of clusterfuck this is going to bring. So we'll see what happens.
Hey, do me a favor. Let's. Are you comfortable with me discussing your scenario of the next door neighbor's contractor, or do we want to not go into?
Oh, I love it.
I wish I could play it. I wish I could play the clip on here.
You can. I don't give a fuck.
Are you sure? Like,
I don't give a shit.
Apparently, Dave's neighbor was getting some work done, and the contractor was taking a fence down and decided to use Dave's property as a temporary placement spot with all the old wood and nails. And Dave came out and decided to let the guy know what he thought about that.
You know why? Because here's the thing. I am what people think, right? I have that problem where I don't have the filter enough to stop myself from saying, you know what? I don't know what the consequences are going to be here. Let me think this through, or have that train of thought of like, maybe this person is going through a rough day. You know what I mean? Like,
if he did, it got worse.
Like, I could filter, right? Like, like I could sit there. Like, if I'm walking down the street and you just out of the blue, be like, "Fuck you, motherfucker," to my face. At first I'm like, all right. But it's one of those filters of like, well, let me figure out what's going on here. Now, obviously, if I got my kids, I'm gonna have that extra filter. But if I don't have my kids, and my wife gives me the green light, it's fucking on. Like,
that's the caveat right there.
That's the caveat. If I get honestly, if I get the green light from the wife, like the nod, like she unclicks the fucking leash, it's on, dude. It's fucking on. So. And I don't know if that's healthy or not, but regardless, at least it keeps me out of trouble too much. But these are one of the moments where she's like, click. She just takes off the leash and
and then walks away. She just walks away.
She just walks away, sits on the recliner, starts giggling. So you have your own property, right? And I'm just going to lead off with this. When you work for what you have, right, regardless of what you have, when you work for it, even as small as a cup of water, somebody takes it from you, it is your property, right? Yeah. It is what you work for. It's not a sense like, oh, this is mine, like puffing out your chest thing. It's more of a respect, a thing of, this is what I worked for. This is what I have. My little piece of earth here is mine, right? Only because of so much of the sacrifices that I make. So when you have a fucking contractor, and I like I said, I used to work in construction too. I get it. But at the same time, when you got a fucking contractor who is supposed to be professional using your personal property as a stowaway yard for their trash, you're going to get fucking pissed. I don't give a fuck who you are. You can sit there in your high mighty horse, and because there's people out there like, I would have handled it a little bit better. No, fuck you, number one. Go sit back on your high horse and then do a double back jump flip, on your fucking concrete. Yeah, I don't give a fuck. You want to do what I did. You want to do it, but you're too chicken shit to do it. I, on the other hand, enjoy it. My wife says I enjoy violence too much. I don't know. It's a relief. So I'm expecting. I come up. I get a text message at work, and I'm sitting there, and I'm like, all right. She's like, hey, by the way, contractors are working on a neighbor's fence. I'm like, all right, cool, no biggie. She's like, yeah, they're using our yard as trash, and I'm like, I'm thinking bolts, little pieces, because they're taking the fence out. No, they literally took the fucking fence and walked it into my yard and piled it up next to my fire pit. So, again, context, right? You come home, like you're working on the fence. I can understand because the properties literally meet up. I can understand taking the fence and literally turning your hips and putting it down.
Yeah.
Because that to me is like you're working. You got a limited space to work with. You do what you got to do. I'm okay with that. But when you take the fucking thing and literally walk it onto somebody's yard in the middle of their yard, it's not even the edge. You literally walk it onto the fucking yard, like you're like do, and drop it right fucking there. You're like, huh, okay, and then you consistently do it, like to a point where you're piling your fucking trash on somebody else's property, and then you have no consideration whatsoever. You didn't ask, because I honestly am that laid back where if you ask me, I understand because I have work construction. Sure, you got a limited time, you got a limited space. So if you were to ask, I'm like, all right, cool, yeah, go ahead, but keep it piled up and do your best, not to trash my fucking yard. Now, there's some motherfuckers take their fucking fence, pile it, and all the small pieces just throw them. They just threw in my yard. I'm like, oh, so I get it. All right, motherfuckers, this is how we're going to do it. So if you didn't ask, right? So, because I'm going to match your level.
You're going to match the asshole.
I am that guy where they say, don't stoop to their level.
Don't be petty. You're being super petty.
I am going to stoop down to your fucking level because that is where I started. I started at that fucking level and worked my way up. So I have a range of fuckery I can work with, and I am very comfortable of going to stoop down to your level. Like, I'm okay with that. Like, honestly, I am perfectly fine with it because that is where I started. Yeah. So I'm like, fine, motherfuckers. You didn't come and ask. You completely knew my wife was there by herself, so you knew somebody was at home, but you didn't even bother to, like, you knew for a fact somebody was home. So you still, on top of that, disrespected my wife. You disrespected my property. So what am I going to do? I'm not going to be that prick and show up to you and be like, hey, sir, excuse me, sir.
Yeah.
That's my property. You know, how dare you do that to my property? Why am I going to waste air and oxygen and just literally have this back and forth conversation to try to prove that you were wrong, right? That's going to take time. Yeah. I'm efficient, right? Let's just call it that. I'm very efficient. So I come home after, you know, a shift. I get in and my wife's like, hi. I'm like, hey. And I'm changing my gear because, you know, I don't want, if things go out, I don't want the logo sticking out. So changing my shit. She's like, uh-oh. And I'm like, yep. I looked at her. You good? She's like, yep. Go do what you got to do. I'm like, perfect. I walk out the back, and that's what you'll see in the video. I literally walk out the back, didn't even talk to them. I just stared them down, and I looked at the pile, and you can tell the guy fucking stood up and was like, oh, shit. Because I walked out there, and I'm a tall motherfucker, right? So I'm all ready to fucking roll. Apparently, I had that face where I got a bitch face that looks like I'm going to fuck you up regardless. So that's why I try to smile a lot. But this time I wasn't smiling. I walked out. I put my gloves on, my impact gloves on. I walk up, I grab that shit, and I start fucking launching it onto their yard. Like, I'm talking about, I'm taking fucking fence pieces and launching it. And I'm taking another piece, I'm fucking launching it, and then I see, you know, those guidelines that help line up the fence that they have to measure out.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
They had one of those already placed.
Already set, perfected. So I'm looking at that motherfucker. I'm like, guess where I'm aiming at? Yep. Take another piece. I fucked that up. Yeah. I'm just taking pieces, and the motherfucker shows up. I'm sorry. I'm like, you're sorry now? I was like, who? Like that? You should have been sorry fucking 4 hours ago. Because it was like around 8 o'clock, 8:30 in the morning when they started doing this shit. I come home like around 12:30. So they had plenty of time to be fucking sorry. You know, I'm like, your incompetence is now going to pay off. So I start fucking going off on them. I'm like, you motherfucking dumbasses decide to use my fucking property as your dump yard. Where the fuck do you get this common sense to think that this is a smart thing? Like, you are representing your fucking company. And this is the thing, like, you're representing the installation company. Yeah. So I call them, and I don't give a fuck. Fuck Forest Fencing, because that's the company that did it.
That's what it was.
Yeah, that's Forest Fencing, the motherfuckers. Because I called them up too afterwards.
Oh, you did? What did they say?
And I'm going to lead up to that. So because there's a whole thing. Because I didn't want to be that motherfucker like, your guys did this and this. Even as I'm pissed off, I'm giving these motherfuckers a chance, right? So I am going off. I'm like, you motherfuckers just decided to do this shit. What makes you think this is smart? Like, this is even, you're wasting your time too, because you have to pick this shit up and still walk it up front. Yeah. Why didn't you just walk it up front to begin with? Yeah. There's a pile of trash in the front yard. No, you're going to put it in my fucking yard and then pick it up again and then drag it out, walking through my yard again with all this shit to the front yard again. Like, you're wasting time. Do it right the first fucking time. So I don't know why I'm now critiquing how efficient they should be. I was pissed because number one, their production was horrible. They weren't efficient, and then they used my yard. But I'm like, I swear to fucking God. And I told him, I was like, if I took this shit, I told him, I'm going to put all this shit in my fucking truck, and I'm going to take it to your fucking house and dump it in your front lawn and see how you like it. Because I was literally ready to. Yeah. I was going to take, because I knew it was Forest Fence, and I was going to take all their shit and literally drive it to Forest Fence and start throwing it on their property and tell them how they like it. Because I guarantee I would have been arrested for dumping shit, right? Sure. So, but if I do it, you know, I'm the asshole, right? I'm the asshole sitting there fucking cursing out, because you know you always got that one bleeding heart son of a bitch that says, well, you don't understand what they're going through. Fuck you. Bleeding heart. Those bleeding heart motherfuckers, like, you know, hemorrhaging out of the fucking heart because they want to consider the other person's point of view. That shit ends with me when you don't ask, right? That shit stops with me when you bluntly disrespect me, my wife, especially my wife and my kids. If you disrespect my kids, I don't give a fuck if you were Mother Teresa. I will knock the shit out of you. Like, it's done. Oh, turn that fucking Mother Teresa hood around and pow! So I'm losing my shit off of that. After that, I go back inside. And then I go get my son. My son's ready to come out of school. So I'm getting my pickup truck and I'm pulling out and I'm like, motherfuckers. I see tire tracks going through my front yard. So not only did they use my backyard, they used my front fucking yard to drive their heavy pole driver. Basically, it's a giant drill that drills holes to put the pole fence in. This motherfucker weighs about 1,000 pounds and with treads. So they drove the motherfucker in front of my yard, fucked up the grass. Like, you can see it, like, treads through my front grass. And I'm like, motherfucker. So I go pick up my son. I come back and he goes, oh shit, Dad. Because I showed him the video and he's cracking up. My son is fucking cracking up. So I tell him, I need you to go inside the house. And he's once he knows I'm dead serious, he no questions. He's like, all right, Dad, I'll be inside. But obviously his curiosity kicks in. So he's just standing by the window, like, looking out. I'm standing there, and the other thing about me is I don't give a fuck. I could be in the cathedral for all I care. You piss me off, it's on. Like, I'm standing in the middle of the street and I'm taking pictures, and the guy looks up and he's like, fuck. Round 2. Ding, ding. I look over to him. I was like, you motherfuckers took your fucking conveyor through my front fucking yard? Are you fucking serious? And he's like, oh, I'm sorry. You know, we were tight and spit. I was like, I don't give a fuck if you had to move the whole house over to put the you literally decided just on your own.
Right.
To use all of my property. Not just a portion now, not just the backyard, but the whole fucking property as your entrance to your construction site. So now there's tread marks, deep fucking I still see them too to this day. Deep fucking tread marks.
Oh yeah, because it's cold, so you're not gonna see that go away very easily.
No,
the ground's frozen.
Are you fucking? I am going off, dude. I'm motherfucking these guys up and down. And I told the son bitch, I'm like, because the crew's now just standing there, just getting berated, and they know that you fucked up when you ain't got nothing to come back with.
Yeah.
And part of me was a little disappointed because I'm waiting to just
because you wanted the back and forth.
5-on-1 fight with these guys. Like, I wanted, because I'm like, all right, sweet construction guys, I'm gonna get all my aggression out today. Nah, they just stood there, and I'm like, you're fucking taking it because you know you're wrong. Yeah. Like, they just stood there with the shit-eating look on their faces, like, yeah, we fucked up. And, oh, yeah, you royally fucked up because you got a Puerto Rican. And I'm waiting for those motherfuckers to start saying shit in Spanish. They're like, me to speak. I'm like, yeah, go ahead. Yeah. Let's go there. Let's switch it up because I'm worse Spanish. I'll fucking curse you out, English and Spanish. So I'm waiting on them, and then I'm fucking, like, I'm telling that guy, I was like, I'm going to fucking find out where you live. And I'm going to take my pickup truck and I'm going to run it through your backyard and start doing fucking donuts. And I'm going to tear your shit up. And I'm going to ask you afterwards, how do you feel? And then afterwards, I'm going to apologize and say, I'm sorry. And see how you fucking feel. I was like, I swear to God, dude. Like, they were so fucking dumbfounded. So after all said and so after I saw the front yard issue, because at first, once I blow off steam on the backyard, I was like, all right, cool. I got my point across. They're now they're scattering around, cleaning my yard up, getting everything up. So I'm like, all right, sweet. I got my point across. But when I saw the front yard, I was done. I was like, all right, motherfuckers, I'm calling forest fencing. I called them up, and they're like, giving me the whole commercial bullshit, like customer service bullshit. When they were saying, oh, we're sorry, that shouldn't have happened. I was like, no, it shouldn't have happened. And I wasn't cursing. I was just like, I don't know what kind of clowns you got working for you. I was like, but this is ridiculous. I want you to know what's going on. So that way, if they go on another project, this doesn't come back on you. I said, because I told them that. I was like, they're representing you. Like, I knew right off the bat who you are because I saw the truck. And she's like, yeah, you know what? We'll contact the project manager. I'm like, why? And she goes, because he's going to put a stop to this. I was like, the idiot project manager was standing there like a moron. He was there. He knew what was going on. I was like, I'm looking right at him on my Ring camera. And I'm like, he's literally standing there like a jackass watching these guys use my fucking yard as their construction site. And she's like, oh. I'm like, well, she's like, well, I'm going to have the general manager call. They never called. And I'm like, I'm going to give you a few days before I start losing my shit. They haven't called. I forgot about it. So, but that's why I have no problem.
They're not gonna call, dude. They don't want no smoke right now.
That's why I have no fucking problem talking about Forest Fence in fucking Felton. No, what's in Milford? Sorry, Milford, Delaware.
Whoa. Oh, wait, I'm confusing Felton with Frederica, but that's an inside joke.
Yeah. But fuck that place, man. Yeah, if you want a fence and you're the neighbor,
don't go to Forest Fence.
Go to fence, or at least let those motherfuckers know right off the bat. Don't be using your backyard as a fucking construction site. But yeah, I was ready, dude. I was ready to go up against like the construction workers, but it was disappointing. None of them put up a fight, which is I was like, oh man.
leading up to Christmas too. I mean,
right to Christmas,
we're supposed to be jolly, and you just said, "Oh, this is a perfect time to let some steam off before the end of the year."
Oh, I was jolly. I loved it, but at the same time, you got to protect what you got. This it's simple. Like even this Christmas tree, right? You worked for this shit. You got to be appreciative of what you have. So when you got a motherfucker shitting in your lawn, you're gonna get pissed. Now if you work with your neighbor, right? And they're like, if they were to come up to me and we're like, hey, can we use your yard? Like even the workers, because if they would have came up to me, because my neighbor had no idea. I don't know. Allegedly,
they know now. I think
I'm pretty sure they fucking knew because I was like the whole fucking block heard me. So, but so allegedly they didn't know, but I haven't confirmed or denied it. But or figured it out. But definitely the workers found out one way or the other. Never fucking do that again. Like, I don't get it. Like, what drives a person to think that, it's okay to sit there and just use somebody's fucking yard?
Well, some people just don't have sense, though, dude. They just don't. That's what it is. Yeah.
And that's the thing. Like, people are like, especially nowadays, they're so fucking afraid to say something that they're so afraid to say something or have a confrontation because they're afraid to get recorded, right? Yeah. They're afraid to have repercussions. They're afraid to get sued. They're afraid like all this stuff. Like, I'm not. You like record me, put me on the best light, put me on record.
Yeah,
go ahead, because you know what? If you get me to that point where I have to be that,
put you on World Star.
Yeah, like fucking
put you on TMZ, World Star.
Rate me all you want, like four or 5 stars.
Give me my review after this.
Yeah, because if you get me to that point, like you really have done it. Because I do. May not seem like, but I have patience.
It is there somewhere.
It is there somewhere, but I will see like all these routes within that split second. I will see all these routes and be like, was this justified? And it's a very yes or no answer. Like it will lead up to a point. Like it's very easy to me to be like, yeah, okay, let's do this. Or you know what? Let me think about this. But a lot of times it's a yes, because by that time you have made the decision to be such a jackass that you've driven somebody to a point where they have to make a quick decision, a very easy, quick decision. And I'm very fast at making that decision. And I'm not afraid for confrontation.
That's the thing, though, dude. Sometimes, I'm a bit more patient in that regard, but there are times where I've gotten to a point where you start to speak up and not worry about the repercussions, or you're willing to eat the repercussions, whatever they may be.
And that's the thing. Like, there's no consequence. There's no we have removed consequence from our actions to a point where we are now fearful of confrontation. We are fearful that when that camera or that phone camera kicks on, we stop because we are afraid what the world would think. I don't give a fuck what the world thinks. You know what I mean? And that's my major problem. Like my wife have to sit there and literally tell me, don't say this. Watch it. She is my filter. Ronnie is literally my conscience and my filter. God forbid anything happens there, because it's gonna be a whirlwind of shit.
Everyone's screwed. Everyone's gonna get it.
We have like a mental session before, like, okay, try not to say this or do this, watch where you're gearing. I'm like, all right, cool, I'll go right there. But honestly,
fluffy rabbits, white fluffy rabbits, white fluffy rabbit.
But when it comes down to it, dude, I don't like confrontation. To me is what I was used to growing up. Like, I don't mind confrontation. Like, you want to record me on the fucking phone, go ahead. Like, I'd call you a dumbass as you're recording. Like, I'll tell you, did you slow it down so you can hear me say that you're a fucking dumbass? Like, make sure you put the closed captions on, so that way when I say fucking dumbass, it shows up at the bottom, fucking dumbass.
Fuggin. Fuggin.
And make sure.
Fuggin.
And then make sure you put that, so that way you see it in Cantonese, you see it in Spanish, you see it in French. I want that motherfucker in Dutch. Like, I want that shit to just come out in every fucking language so that everybody understands what the fuck's going on right here. But that's the world we live in right now. Like, everybody's afraid of confrontation. I'm like, I don't give a fuck. Like what happened? Remember that guy that set that lady on fire in the subway in New York?
Yeah.
They just stood around and watched.
Yeah.
The one guy was, good for him for trying, but he was waving the fire with a coat and fanning the fire.
Yeah, fanning the fire.
Made it worse, but for effort. But everybody else just had their phones out, just standing there. Like, this is where we're at. We put our phones up so quickly without reaction. Like that's your first reaction, to pull the phone out. Like, I guess I get most of them are doing it for self-protection, but a lot of them are just doing it for the views. Like, this is where we're at, dude.
This is clickbait.
Yeah. Like, what the fuck, man? Like, so I was waiting for I'm looking around like, I don't give a fuck. Like, I'm waiting for somebody to stand and start walking up to my yard with their cameras. I'm like, hey, motherfucker, you got my good angle.
Well, there's still time, David. You don't know. Somebody may have been recording. Somebody on the other side was probably recording this. You're on YouTube somewhere right now, dude.
I hope they got my fucking good side.
Hey, do me a favor, dude.
Yeah.
Is your gain on or off? Like, you're peaking a lot.
Probably because I'm fucking yelling. What about now?
It sounds good. No, scream.
Hey!
Yeah, that's a peak.
Maybe I'm just too loud. Let me change this setting up. What about that one? Does that sound better? Yo, check.
I mean, it sounds good when you're talking normal, but it's like when you're like, you motherfucker.
Maybe
I could like the waveform, just the wave file, just there's no wave. It's just all black.
Well, now you know what everybody's going through when I'm motherfucking somebody. Because that's just how it is, man. That's my outdoor motherfucking voice. That's what it is.
All right, so you've had yourself an experience where you're able to let some verbal aggression out. How did it feel once you clean their clocks with your words of fucking
I just
force?
Go back and drink. It's like nothing. I just go back and drink coffee. Like, I can switch it on and off like nothing.
Okay.
And that's what I mean. I don't know if that's a healthy thing or what, or I'm just so used to it, but I can switch it on and off. Like afterwards, I could just be sitting there eating cereal like nothing ever happened.
Yeah, see, not me. Once I get there, I'm there then. I need time to calm down.
I'll probably stew on it I only stewed on it for a little bit because of how underwhelming it was, but that's, again, my psychotic side. But aside from the actual issue, it was done. Like, I was done yelling at them after the backyard, but when I saw the front yard, then it reignited again. So now I'm calling the company. And once I was done calling the company, I'm like, all right, cool. Timeline, I'm going to give him till, because this happened on the Friday, so I'm like, I'm going to give him till Monday to give me a call. If they're going to call me, then Monday, I'll fucking raise him hell. So the whole weekend, I'm perfectly, to a point where I completely forgot about it until you brought it up to today.
Sorry about that.
But
it's been a week now. It's been a week, no?
It's been a week, yeah. It's been about a week. But
what's going on?
I'm wondering how, like I am curious what people would think about that in the sense of more like study, more like, yeah, like I just said, curiosity, because I want to hear
But what
what,
do you mean?
like, like I said, there are guys, and they're not even guys. There are people out there who would look at it like, well, you don't have to take it that far,
Sure, sure.
or guys who'd be like, yeah, fuck yeah, dude. I would have taken my fucking truck too. Like I want to know about that. One of those, like, how split down the middle is it? Is it really split down the middle, or everybody's
Maybe.
like, because I tell you what, everybody that I've shown the video to, um, because I wanted their actual feedback, like, because I wanted it was more funny to me than anything else. Everybody, my sons were cracking up. They were like, I finally get to see it. I'm like, yeah, I told you.
You're like, don't get used to it. I'm trying to be a better person. New year, new me, motherfucker.
2025 is going to be a lot better. No more fence chucking. That's my goal. No more chucking fences anymore in 2025. I'm going to be a better person. I'm going to grow.
Unbelievable.
But yeah.
Unbelievable.
But like I said, there are people who, and I'll say this with the utmost respect, that just take it up the ass, and other people don't. So I know the ones that take it up the ass the most has steadily started to increase because of the fear. So I'm just curious to see how split down the middle this is, or even if it's not.
Yeah, I'll tell you how I think in my brain I would have handled it is I would have done the same thing, but I wouldn't have. I don't think I would have picked the pieces up and chucked them. I would want them to move their shit.
Yeah.
But I can understand I'm not giving you a chance to move it. I'm moving it now. You're not gonna like where I put it.
Yeah.
So I think the way you I can't imagine. I mean, look, yeah, you're gonna have people that are gonna be like, I mean, there's ways to handle things, but it also comes with like, you don't take me for a fucking weak ass motherfucker.
Yeah.
And when I see something like that, you're already assuming that you're not going to get any pushback from me. And I'm like, I'll tell you what, there was one time Alexandra was pregnant, and it was the only reason why I didn't kind of go at my neighbor, because she was pregnant with Chloe. So it was our first child, and she was like close to the end of her pregnancy. And I didn't want to do anything stupid where that I know she would support me, but I didn't want to add any stress. But I used to have vines on my fence, and the vines would grow kind of crazy if you didn't keep up on them. They would kind of grow and just go crazy. And one day, I guess my neighbor because the vines were on the fence that borders his property and their property and our property. I guess they got tired of the vines protruding on their area, and they cut the vines that were on their side and then dumped all of them behind my gate, the gate by the pool pump.
Yeah.
So one night I was collecting the recyclables that were out back there to take out to the trash, and I went to walk out the gate. It's dark. I went to walk out the gate, and I hit something with the gate, and I'm like, what the fuck is this? I can't open it. Something's blocking it. So I pull out my phone light, and I shine it. It's this big mountain of vines.
Yeah,
and I went,
me off.
This motherfucker. And I went to his house, and I knocked on the door, and luckily he never answered. But I walked back in, and I was like, I was ready to, when I see him, I walked back inside, and I talked to Alexandra, and I said, let me just calm down, because I'm looking at my wife, and she's pregnant, God forbid. And then, you never know what can happen. But yeah. I was ready. I was willing to be like, I'm going to have words with you.
Yeah.
I don't give a fuck what happens. But if something were to happen, my wife is pregnant. She can't help. I wouldn't want her to get, now these things start running through my mind. But I was like, this is some petty ass. You don't come to me as my neighbor and be like, hey, guy, do you mind? Like, this is starting to get a little out of hand. Because I'd have been like, you're absolutely right. My bad. I'm actually thinking about getting rid of the vines, which we did. Because of that experience, we got rid of the vines because they're just not worth it. But come to me.
Yeah.
Talk to me. Because I'm not going to be, dismissive over that. If it's a genuine, legit beef you got that makes sense, as a man, I'm gonna be like, I can't be mad at that. Like, thank you for coming and talk to me. Or even if he was like, hey, listen, I cut these vines down because they're getting a little out of. You're letting them go. But if it's all right with you, I'm gonna leave them on your side because it's your shit. I'd have been like, all right, you're right. Thanks for letting me know. I apologize.
Yeah, just the communication.
You a point taken. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? But to do it and not say anything.
That's a dick move. See, that right there would have pissed me off. Like that whole thought, and this is where Ronnie comes in with my conscience. Like that whole thought, like things can happen. Like I would have been like, oh, my wife's pregnant, and like tell my son I went up like a hero shooting it up. Like, wife's like, you can't do that. I'm like, oh, tell him I was Batman or make something up.
Well, the funny thing is, like a year later, the tree goes down. We used to have 2 or 3 trees along that line, that fence line.
Yeah, I remember.
And they were going bad, but we didn't know that they were rotting. And then one day, a windstorm. We had a really bad windstorm, and one of the trees breaks and gets knocked over and takes the whole fence down.
Mm-hmm.
But it's laying into his property.
Mm-hmm.
I came home from work, knock on his door, because now I'm like, I gotta let this guy know. Like, I know what's going on. I see it. I'm on it. I'm on it.
Yeah.
Knock on the door. He's home. His van's there. Nothing. Won't answer the door. Knock, 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 knock. I went several times. Finally, I was when I worked at FedEx. I came home from work, and we had, by this point now, enough time has passed where we had somebody come look at it, take an estimate, and we had contractors there replacing the fence.
Mm-hmm.
When I finally got to talk to my neighbor.
Wow.
And he was outside. I pulled up, and the contractors had just shown up. It's starting to snow.
Oh, wow.
And I see my neighbor. So I'm like, I'll walk up to him. I'm like, hey, man, I was trying to let you know. I understand the tree's been down. We are working on it. They're going to have to come and bring that pole thing that you were talking about.
Yeah.
They got to bring this in. It's going to be a mess. They got to use you. They're letting me know it's going to get messy, and it's going to be on your side of the fence. Mm-hmm. I just wanted you to know if you want me to, I can pay for if you want me to help sod anything, like I'm trying to be.
See, that would have been awesome.
He's like, yeah, don't worry about it. That's fine. All of a sudden he's super cool with me. I'm like,
yeah. You know why? Because he doesn't like confrontation. He likes,
and I neutralized this shit.
Yeah,
because
you neutralized it perfectly.
I was really polite.
That's what I mean. Like, what is wrong with just to stand? Like, I get if you did that and the guy still was a fucking asshole, then you got an issue with your neighbor. But if you're having a conversation and shit happens, just go to your neighbor and be like, dude, hey, let's, especially if your neighbor's fucking laid back, like just go over and be like, hey, this is gonna happen, or hey, can you help me out with this? Or your bushes are going out of control. I'm gonna cut my end on the side, like work something out with your neighbor. But to be a absolute fucking dick and just start using your fucking yard as like bullshit,
that just pissed me off, dude. It really, dude, I was like, I had to bite my tongue and just be like, let me not. And that was right after we moved in. So you're trying to get used to the land and the neighbors and get a feel for the area. And we haven't had any problems with them since. We've had a couple interesting interactions since we've been here, but it's been a while. But it's just one of those things where I'm like, dude, don't be a fucking dick. Just you can talk to me.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Like and a lot of them will just sit there and puff their chests out behind you. And won't say fucking dick to your face. And that shit pisses me off. Like if we got problems, just come to me, you know, face to face. Let's just hash out the problems and call it a day. I don't like you. You don't like me. That's fine. Let's draw the line and just keep it going from there. But you're fucking damn right. You're going to respect me and my property. Like that's just plain simple. It's just common fucking sense. I'll respect your property. You respect mine. If you need to use it, fucking use it. But let me know that you're going to use portion of my property, or if you need to walk through it, or you need to, like place something down because you need the space. Like, okay, go right ahead, like go ahead. Like, but you're showing me the respect that you're making the acknowledgement. Like, hey, I know this is your property. I know you worked for this. Can I at least use it for a little bit? But when you take advantage of that shit and start using it like every other fucking weekend, then again, that's a
Yeah.
problem.
Yeah. Now you're
And
mistaking my kindness
and that's
for
another
weakness.
issue where a lot of people have that once you start being kind, they take advantage of that shit, and then all of a sudden, you're seeing fucking cars parked in your backyard. It's like, what the fuck is going? Oh, you said I can use. I was like, well, you got maybe 10 minutes to pull the fucking car off my backyard, or I'll set the bitch on fire. Like, these are the choices you got. Like, I was trying to be nice, but now you've taken my niceness and really fucking pushed it to the limit. So now I got to push it to the limit. Like I just don't have the patience for it because it is quick for me. Like, God forbid anybody, like somebody, when we first started, actually, when we first lived here, I don't know what it was with this fucking neighborhood, but they used to drive through my property, because they didn't want to drive around. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, on the side of my house, I'm standing there and these dumbass teenagers were in their car. She was two, teeny bopper teens were driving in their car thinking it was funny driving through the house because they were stuck in the back. And I'm looking at them, they're looking at me like, I'm like, holy shit, I am literally about to trash your fucking car. But I was so shocked at what was happening. I just froze like, is this really happening? And then
So what? They were
off.
driving between.
Yeah, the side of my house. So they were driving like right in between my house, and my neighbor's house,
where you had your altercation.
Yeah. And
well, what's behind there that they were driving to?
I don't know. To this day, I have no fucking clue. I think they were just doing it to be stupid or funny.
Wow.
But I'm sitting there like, are you fucking serious? Like, I'm looking at me. I'm like, whoa. And then I realized like how frozen because it was just like out of a movie. I was like, this really isn't happening. This is my brain couldn't comprehend the stupidity that it literally shut down. And I was
Did
like,
they back out or they keep going?
They kept going like, holy shit, we got caught. So now they're driving off. Yeah. I'm like, yeah, keep driving because
people are dumb, dude.
Dude, I'm telling you. And like I said, people have gotten to a point where they either take full advantage of that shit, don't say nothing, or say too much where they get themselves in trouble, where there's like, and to a point where they say things that don't need to be said. You know what I mean? Like, there's a guideline. It's easy. If you're gonna fucking curse somebody out, stay within the guideline. Bring up the stuff that pissed you off.
Yeah.
Use a couple curse words, the old-fashioned curse words, like fuck, or son of a bitch, or this and that. But it's very simple. It's like a guidebook on how to be an asshole.
and you have to be willing to learn how to deal with that with altercations and be able to operate in it. And a lot of people don't like confrontation and they can't operate with the altercation. And look, I'm not a big confrontation person, but I'm not scared of it. I just I work really hard to try to avoid it because there's a lot more at stake for me now than there was 23 years ago.
There's a lot of things we hold dear especially as we get older, to try to handle confrontation. But there's also that line where it's like you have to like put your foot down somewhere. You know what I mean? Like to not say nothing, especially when somebody's fully taking advantage of your whole fucking livelihood. Then you're just, all you are is just a piece of furniture. You're being used like a piece of furniture. Why would you do that? Just fucking defend yourself for once, And then I'm not talking about like fucking whip out a 9mm, fucking go ham. Like, fucking defend yourself. Use your words, like the teacher in school. Use your words.
There you go.
And if it takes the altercations, fisticuffs, and if it goes higher than that, then what it is. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Hey, this is 2025, man. It's not a new year, new me. It's a new year, new you. Get your shit together, motherfuckers. Yeah,
exactly.
Get your shit together.
Put your phone down. Get your fucking brains out and start thinking. Start using common sense. Because I tell you what, common sense is becoming extinct. That shit is going out the fucking window, dude.
Unbelievable. Out the fucking window, dude.
Wah. You got the sounds.
Oh man.
Great.
Hey, let's switch up gears real quick here. I wanted to do this. We wanted to do this before the year ended, but we weren't able to do this. What Dave and I would like to do is we'd like to give a shout out to all the listeners and viewers, and we like to pay homage to those that have been a ride or die for us for the past 6 months. We started in the summer of 24. We are now into 25. It's 6 months. We're trying to do this once a year, okay? Dave and I agree on this particular individual as being a constant engaging fan of
amazing
podcast.
fan.
We would like to give a shout out to, we don't know the gentleman's real name, but his tag on TikTok is Sock Hattaby. He's always commenting. He's always commenting on our shit, always laughing, always whether he likes it or not, he comments, and I'm assuming he's watching the podcast. Who knows, or listening. But we want to send Sock Hattaby. We got some bumper stickers coming in, and maybe I'll hit Sock Hattaby up in the messages on the side, get his address. We'll send him a Bro Church bumper sticker. Nothing big, but it's just a little way of us saying, hey man, thanks.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah. Because honestly, like I don't know if he's a fan or maybe he's just passing through, but the interactions he has, man, are freaking hilarious, dude.
Yeah. And he's commenting on and that's what you want as a content creator, or like in our case, podcasters. You want engagement with the audience, and whether you like it or not. And obviously, we want people to like it, and it seems like he's enjoying some of our stuff. So, Mr. Sock Hattaby, sir, thank you very much.
Thank you, sir.
We'll be reaching out to him shortly, but I would like to I just want to give it up to him. Sock Hattaby. Fucking Sock Hattaby, man.
That's great. Love the sound effects. That's
trying,
awesome.
man. I'm trying. I don't know what all these are, but I guess I can add my stuff in here, which I'm going to start doing eventually. Yeah. Maybe put the we can get back to the fucked up files or the effed up files. Oh yeah,
those are cool.
Put that in there, Yeah, man.
That'd be cool.
Are you back to work tomorrow?
Yeah, I'm back to work tomorrow. So
me too. All right. Well, is there anything else you want to get into? We've been killing it for about a good hour now.
No, man. That's about it.
Okay. Well, we know now that even though it's a good new year, it can end really ugly. Just don't throw your shit in other people's property. Some people may not like that. So new year, new you, not me.
Yep.
I think that's what we should call this episode.
Not me.
New year, new you, comma, not me.
Yeah. I'm good.
Because I'm good, motherfucker. Right?
I'm good.
You need to fix your shit.
Yeah.
Get your shit together, people.
Another year.
2025 is a year where we can't deal with the shenanigans.
Nah. And if you're down and out, just remember, every year's a baby step. So here's your next baby step. Just keep pushing forward.
Yeah. And if you're down, just stay down and let us do what we got to do. Next year's year to year.
Yeah.
Just stay down and out of the way. That's not inspiring. That's just brutal honesty. This is a dog eat dog world, motherfuckers. Okay? If you're down and out, just stay the fuck down and don't get up. Let us do it.
We'll drag you. We're not letting you down, man. We're dragging you.
Yeah. David's dragging you, but listen, we got to cut our losses at some point.
Got to cut our losses.
All right, man. That's the Dave right there. I am Felix. This is Bro Church. We're out of here. Bye-bye.
Peace.